Chapter 2. Anybody got 50 grand? As Max gets behind the counter to open shop, the rest of you form a war council/fundraising committee at Alan's usual table. Okay, think. What will people drop a lot of money on that we have ready by, like, tonight? Feet pics? Okay. Besides feet pics, but I love the enthusiasm. Well, Joe, I want to save this place too, but I don't think we're going to be a little ambitious. I mean, we can't raise 500 grand in one night. I thought it was... Max said 50 grand? Yeah, same thing. It's not, though. Mateo, I'm afraid to know what your checking account looks like these days. Look, we don't have to raise the whole 50 grand tonight, but we need to at least make a dent. Less stressing, more IDing. Well, we could do trivia. Like, the Irish pub down the street, it's fun. I've got a few times with the bros. Maybe a drink-making class or an auction? We could offer baked goods or dates with LBGT's most, single employees. Wait, even better. What about a speed dating night? You know, for the lonely and dating app-verse. Okay, this is starting to feel a little targeted. Speed dating? Do we have to sign up? Yeah, it's either that or pawn off your firstborn. Let me make one right quick. I feel obligated to say that no one has to do anything for this cafe that is unrelated to coffee. Yeah, but you should sign up, Joe. You can practice talking to hot girls without forgetting English. Hey, that is a good point, actually. From behind the counter, Max clears her throat to get everyone's attention. I know I said we could try something big, but this sounds like chaos in the making, especially for a last-minute shindig. No, this is Chaos Freak plan. Dex and Alan can figure out the logistics. I can make flyers to advertise. Mateo can come up with a menu and post about it to build hype. My fans are legion, Max. Yaz can keep the cafe running. Blue can handle the grassroots marketing. You know, spreading the word when customers come in. I swear we can make this happen by tonight if we start right now. Alright, Joe. I'm gonna trust you on this one. Just nothing crazy, okay? Oh, I've never done anything crazy in my life. You know me. Max, give you an annoying look. Heads into the kitchen to check on the pastries. Once she's out of earshot, Dex snickers. I guess you won't be telling her that you rode a motorcycle last night. Fine. I've done one crazy thing. That's not really crazy. Oh my god, what? Joe, was this before or after you hung out with Tess? Wait, was it with Tess? You shrug, enjoying Blue's melodramatic gasp. But of course you can't think about speed dating without thinking about Tess. You don't even know if she's eligible on multiple levels. But if she came, the speed dating thing could be a great chance to get close to her, or get my heart shredded. Being this excited and nervous at the same time can't be good for my digestive system. You force your head back into the game using your tablet to mock up some flyers that advertise the ticket price and start time. Meanwhile, Mateo grabs Alan's laptop to craft posts for his socials. Hey, I was using that. Alan, if you support rights, you'll let me borrow your computer to commune with the Mateadors about our speed dating night. You post pics of food, my guy. Let's not get crazy. They're not just pictures of food. They're artistic depictions of hunger. Beloved by thousands. If you say so. While he notifies the Mateadors, Blue, can you help me start printing these flyers? You got it. Blue follows you over to the cafe's printer and helps assemble the flyers into neat stacks. They're quieter than usual, though. A little too quiet. Hey, you doing okay? You haven't made fun of me in 10 whole minutes, and neglecting your favorite hobbies is a warning sign of depression. I'm just worried, I guess. I keep thinking about what it'll happen to you guys if the cafe closes. Like, of course, you'll all find other work, but it won't be the same, you know? Mateo and Yaz both told me horror stories about dress code violations at their old jobs because, God forbid, a person looks... Yep. What does that even look like? I'm serious. I don't understand. Anyway, And the LG is the only... We'll talk about this at the end of the video. The LG is the only place I know that makes a point of getting regular pronouns right instead of letting everyone get away with trying. Be real with me, Joe. Do you actually think we can save the cafe? I hope we will. I don't have a crystal ball hiding in my pocket or anything, but I like our odds. With all of us putting our heads together, I have to believe that we've got a shot at this. Blue lets out a slow breath and smiles, looking more their usual self, cheerful, yet slightly terrifying. Look at you, going all optimist on me. I love to see it. Then why don't you start getting our flyers into the hands of people as they come in? I'm gonna go hang up some along the street. You head to a nearby telephone pole along the sidewalk, but right before you staple one of the flyers to the pole, a gust of wind plucks it out of your hands. Really, I'm not saying that. You prepare yourself to attempt an undignified tackle, but before you get the chance, someone snatches the flyer from the mid-air. You turn to thank your savior, only to get tongue-tied at the sight of the tattoos and grease-stained hands. Hey, I'm guessing you needed this? Yes, nice catch. Thanks. I was a tight end in high school. Really? Nah, but I'm flattered that you believed me. Oh, I mean, you're very dexterous. You inwardly cringe a little. Blue was right. English is impossible around Tess, but she just chuckles. I like to think so. Tess holds the flyer against the telephone pole. You staple it once. Once it's firmly into place, she squints at the paper. Speed dating. Tonight, all participants must be registered prior to the event. Limited spots. $0. No, it says $50. $50 per participant. Damn, that's expensive. I did good with this one. Speed dating night. That's cool. I didn't realize you all hosted that kind of thing. It's a first for us, to be honest. We're selling tickets inside. If you want one. You make the offer before you can second guess yourself. Once the words are out, though, you immediately try to rein them in. But, like, no pressure, obviously. It literally says, queer speed dating flyer on the flyer. I don't even know if that's... Or hell, if she's single. That's quite the sales pitch, Don Draper. I'd love to come. Obviously. But shh. That answers both of your questions, and it suddenly feels like a miniature fireworks are going off in your chest. In the best possible way. Yeah, I mean, great. Awesome. I'm helping to run things and getting peer pressured into participating, so I'll see you there. Counting on it. She waves and heads down the sidewalk, and once her back is turned, you allow yourself to do a victory fist pump. Am I about to go on a speed date with the girl of my dreams? Oh my god, I'm gonna go on a speed date with the girl of my dreams. Come nightfall, you and your friends are putting the finishing touches on the event, in other words, scrambling to set things up as customers trickle in. You watch Alan wrestle with a jammed chair, while Mateo washes plates with the speed and fury of an avenging angel. Kinda like me reading this. God, it smells good in here. Mateo, have I told you lately that you're a genius? Don't worry, guys, if you really wanted me to read this, it's super lightning fast, in which I typically read things at, and that's why I get tongue-tied. It would sound a little bit like this. It literally, if you ever meet one of those people, you know it's like me. It's actually really hard to read normal sometimes. Not often enough, but you're welcome. And do the voices, by the way. As customers cluster on a table full of Mateo's ginger snaps, babka, I don't know what that is, and sweet tamales, you help Dex split up some of the seating in smaller clusters. Okay, out with it. How nervous are you to see your hot mechanic, date speedily? Remember that time we got stuck in the movie theater elevator and you remembered it was Friday the 13th and we both had panic attacks? Vividly. Yeah, that nervous, but this time the elevator's a hot girl. I could make so many puns with that. So many. I'm gonna move on. Honestly, I get it. I'm pretty freaked out about seeing Brad again, and I'm the one who invited him. I just keep thinking about everything that could go wrong, you know? Like, what if... we get paired up and we aren't compatible? That's a fear everyone has. Then it's goodbye to all my enjoyable but attainable test fantasies. I mean, it's possible, but it's also out of your control. Okay, but what if I have to worry about if really, really hard Oh, right. I forgot about your mind control via rumination powers. Or, I made you forget? Between you and me, I was tempted to just watch this all go down from the kitchen, but I'll throw myself in a mix as long as you do, too. You got a deal. But if a girl makes me cry tonight, you're paying for my therapy. Blue skips over the stacks of index cards. Handing one to both of you, and Dex, Alan follows them behind, looking chipper. This place is packed, gang. I can barely hear the, super cool music. Thanks. This is my emo lullaby cyberpunk sacrifice playlist. Okay. Are you speed dating with us, Ellen? Isn't your wife here? Oh, we're just here for the food and emotional support. Sally is getting us some tamales before the festivities start. The Blue said tonight would be like Hunger Games, but sexier and with fewer blonde men. Which I stand by. Look, we even have spectators with expensive outfits. You point to a cluster of well-dressed teens making TikToks near the kitchen. I just love this artistic depictions of hunger. Very online teen. Wait, pause. So it's me and Joe who are actually speed dating. Of course not. I'm in. And so's Yaz. Sure enough, Yaz walks over to your group with a register, and grabs a card from Blue. Only because we need a minimum number of people in tonight's dating pool for it not to be tragic. Consider this a sacrifice for the cause. Then start filling out these cards. All attendees have to include their names, pronouns, gender preferences, and fun facts. Everyone gets to work, but once you fill out the basics and stare at the blank space between that, your brain stalls. This is just as bad as answering Hinge prompts, except worse, because I know for a fact that Tess will see it. One help, I redid Mateo's Grindr profile before he met Jacob, remember? Alan was my copy editor. And I gotta say, I've never gotten so many swipes. Anybody want to help me with my dating profiles? No? Okay. Alan beams with pride as Mateo emerges from the kitchen to join you all. There are audible gasps from several of Mateo doors. I'm all for proofreading dating profiles. Typos make the worst first impression. I agree. Like showing up to a date covered in blood. Yeah, some magnitude of fox paws. Come on, Joe. Hand that index card over to the professionals and we'll help you bring some flair to it. Lord help me. Fine. Okay, I give you permission to make me sound as cool as possible. Tall order, but we'll try. Let's be honest. And, more supportive, yes. You all settle down at Alan's usual table as the crowd in the cafe continues to grow. Blue furrows their brows. You set your card down for collective judgment. I've got my name, pronouns, and stuff. I mentioned that I'm a Pisces, but then my internal monologue just turned into static. What is this supposed to mean, just Pisces? You might as well tell me that your childhood celebrity crush was Kristen Stewart, like, cool, you're sapphic zillennial prone to melancholy. I already got that from looking at you for 5 seconds, but thanks. Rude. Accurate, but rude. He has a point, though. If you're gonna put anything, at least include your moon sign. Otherwise, you'll look like you have something to hide. A moon sign now? What the My last girlfriend wouldn't tell me her birth chart, and I didn't find out she was a Virgo until I met her parents. Her parents, Joe. What's wrong with Virgos? We don't have time to unpack that moon sign, Joe. Focus. My moon sign is a Gemini? Joe, I can't help you if you're gonna go self-sabotage. I'm not. It's literally my moon sign. I don't know. Listen, just shut up. Damn. Good luck to you then, my friend. What did a moon in Gemini ever do to you? Mateo gets 1,000-yard stares. Blue hastily snatches your card out of his reach. Mateo, ignore that question, or we'll be here all night. And we've got work to do. What about some likes and dislikes? Sally and I talked about our favorite hobbies for hours on our first date. Alan, how are you the most stereotypical married man on Earth and yet also the happiest? Because he's the definition of a wife guy. The likes and dislikes thing is fun, but why don't we make it loves and hates? These are speed dates. There's no time for lukewarm takes. Okay, then alright, I love tabletop RPGs, art museums, German chocolate cake. Chocolate cake. Smart move! Anybody worth knowing loves chocolate? I agree. Ooh, write down your favorite spot to get it. Instant second date material. Good idea. I make it. I guess we're coming to my kitchen, guys. Okay, now, do hates. Oh, well, that's easy. I hate winter, overcomplicated coffee orders, capitalism. I'm gonna go with capitalism. Ooh, stick it to the man. Just don't mention that time you spent $300 on designer Crocs. I thought we agreed to pretend that never happened. You asked us to. I just never agreed to it. Personally, I don't consider myself bound to promises made outside of the full moon. You glanced down at your now noticeably less bare-bones card, feeling hopeful. Thanks, everyone. This is starting to feel a lot more me. Now we just need a finishing touch. Everyone, pass this card around and write down a word that you think describes Joe. I don't know if that's a good idea. I got one. Empathetic. Aww. Whoa, boring. Dex, give me that. Mateo snatches the card next and scratches a word on it with a satisfied smirk. How about kooky? Excuse me? Kooky. It means cute, crazy, fun, lovable. You know, like someone's kooky aunt. Someone's aunt? I think he's trying to say creative, right, Mateo? Sure! I'll put that down, too. Okay, thank you all for your contributions, but index card's privileges are now revoked. You snatch the card back from your friends. Mateo Fox pouts, and you smile down at your friend's words. This is good, though I can work with this. Oh, instinct is never wrong. Okay, everybody, we're at capacity. Let's get this thing started. As Max climbs into a chair and to address the crowd, you and your friends cross the room to listen. And that's when you see her looking effortlessly cool and windswept. Literally windswept, because she rides a motorcycle. I can do this. I can speed date while my crush is in the mix and be normal about it. So normal. Just don't stand there swooning, go say hi. X nudges you, and you take a deep breath and sidle through the crowd to stand by Tess. She smiles when she spots you. Hey. Hi. But before you can go on, Max's voice rings out over the crowd again. First of all, thank you all for coming out on a weeknight. It's wonderful to see so many of you here, old friends and new. The rules tonight are pretty simple. You'll rotate around the room, everyone gets 5 minutes with a date before we switch off. Keep things moving, don't be creepy, and you can exchange numbers, but no texting until you leave tonight. Anything I'm forgetting, gang? Yeah. Have fun. Right, now go break a leg, or whatever you kids say these days. Actually, I don't know what the kids say anymore. Close enough. The crowd disperses to their assigned starting points, and Dales gives you 2-fingered salute. May the best woman win. Oh, you know it's not a game, right? Thinking it's not a game just means you're losing, obviously. Art thoughting, you part ways with Tess and take a seat across from an unfamiliar girl. The name Willa is scrawled on her dating card. You aren't exactly looking for anyone who isn't named Tess right now, but you still give her a polite smile. Wow, at least give her a shot. Jesus. Hey, I like your necklace. Thanks. Some heiress to an Italian oil fortune gave it to me on a second date. Swear to God. Damn, that's really... Please don't ask me who it was, because that's confidential. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you, but I signed an NDA. I wasn't gonna ask. Willow smiles pityingly, and you have to fight the urge to, well, start a fight. Anyway, never stay in an Italian villa in summertime was my takeaway. So buggy, unless there's air conditioning. But even so, wow. It's so interesting. Humor them. Willa Beams, clearly taking your minimum level of polite interest as sincere. Oh, isn't it? I've been thinking about doing a podcast on my dating life with the word, like the L word, but just the word part, because it's a podcast. I've got this pitch for the first episode where me and my girlfriend, or good friend, Tegan, talk about... And that's how the rest of the conversation goes. Minutes of your wild and precious life ticking away as Willa rambles on about herself, until the chime of Max's timer frees you from your podcast pitch hell. As everyone rotates tables, your next date approaches. You brace yourself for another Willa fiasco. If our Italian Harris X is here, I'm bailing. Sorry to bail on your deal, X, but I'm not signing up for... Long time no see. Oh, thank God. It's like all the colors in the room get brighter as Tessa slides into the seat across from you. You both smile at each other, and then you can't stop smiling. God, I am so glad to see you. I feel like I barely made it out of my war zone. Oh, you two. My first date wouldn't stop talking about her high school reunion. Mine wouldn't stop talking about her super rich Italian Harris X. Oh, damn. She told you about me. Ha! Humor. Tess drops her voice to a cartoonishly Italian accent and mimes a chef's kiss with her fingers. It's a me, a generational wealth. I'm done. Why did something so simple make me crack? You're hilarious. Your sarcasm is undercut by the huge grin you simply can't hide. Heart pounding, you duck your head and take a few breaths, which leaves you less likely to hyperventilate, but more likely to say something awkward. Okay, give me your car. I want to see how bad your sales pitch is this time. Hey, I got you to come tonight, didn't I? Not yet. But right, because it was going to take a lot of convincing. Your breath catches and Tess takes advantage of your temporary paralysis to snatch your card out of your hand. I see you're a fellow water sign. Nice to meet a kindred spirit. Yeah? Oh, so now it's water signs, we got moon signs. What the actual... My sun is in Scorpio, and my moon is Taurus. Although between you and me, I have no idea what it's supposed to mean. Thank you! It's all up for interpretation. I think that's kind of the point. Fair. Cass glances at your card again. Oh man, you also love German chocolate cake. It's been forever since I had a slice. There's a great place down by 24th that sells it. By far the best I've ever had. Oh, well, we'll have to go sometime then. You can show me what I've been missing. Sure, I'd love to. You could be reading her card, you dum-dum. She says it offhandedly, still squinting at your card, but your heart thuds anyway. Tess moves on to your hates section. Hates capitalism. I'm with you there, but I hope your Italian Harris enthusiast didn't see that one. I hope she did. Because your turn to share. This card is pretty basic. You wave her nearly empty card at her, and she shrugs. You got me there. I read the words, share a fun fact, and I panicked. Well, at least you wrote something, even if motorcycle isn't exactly a whole sentence. So tell me, one thing you love. Easy, cats. Listen, I'm taking her home. The animal, though, not the movie, musical. Oh, not to yuck anyone's yum, but no one liked that film, ma'am. No judgment at all. And since you're here, I'm guessing you're ready to mingle? Like the Pringles man out of a can. Oh, if you know the meme, you know the meme. If that's your way of asking if I'm single, the answer is yes. You manage to nod at that, but you desperately have to rein in your face muscles before you break out in a relieved grin. My last relationship ended a while ago. She's great, we're still friends, but... I was figuring out a lot about myself back then, and once I did, we just didn't fit anymore. I get that. My last relationship was... Hmm. How about I didn't feel like she deserved me? A mutual breakup. Which is lucky because I still see her around sometimes. I guess that's unavoidable for girls. Dating apps can only shuffle so many times. Sad, but true. Right now my ex is dating her other ex's ex. Oh, yeah, I've been there before. Okay, what else do we have to cover? First pet, mother's maiden name. Is this your way too personal if I ask how long you've been out? No way. Classic icebreaker. That one's easy. I've known I was since high school, into anyone but guys, basically. It wasn't easy in the beginning. Senior year, I was dating this really sweet girl. The school wouldn't let me take her to prom. It was a whole thing. But my parents always have been cool, even if their support sometimes meant about ambushing me with rainbow memorabilia they find. For you. You say that now, but I have the whole boxes of Pride merch in my closet. I started giving them away every June just to free up space. What about your parents? Are they cool, or... My parents could have handled it better. Oh, sorry. I wish it never had to go that way. Thinking about your family already makes your chest ache, but there's a warm sincerity in her voice that makes some of the ache soften. Thanks. Me too. On the bright side, you probably became super funny as a coping mechanism, right? I try. Oh yeah. Even my old therapist thought so. Okay, next question. What kind of art do you... But before you can answer, Max's phone alarm chimes. Time to rotate. Damn. Good luck with the next round, I guess. Oh, you too. Did you two exchange numbers? Question mark. The next rotation sends you out to the patio, where you sit across from a guy with some admittedly beautiful eyes. Hey, how's it going? The two of you chat amicably, but there's no spark, and it doesn't help that your adrenaline's pumping from 5 minutes with Tess. But, what about you? Huh? What do you do? Pull it together, Joe. You look across the patio to see Dex in a similar zoned-out state, gazing wistfully at Brad from a few tables away. The next time, everyone rotates, the eyes sighs heavily before sitting across from you. Not happy to see me. I don't like oversharing with employees, and even if I weren't technically your boss, you aren't my type. Okay, but who is your type? I've worked here for 2+ years, and I barely know anything about your love. No oversharing. Remember? Right, sorry. But can you at least give me some advice? I ran through all the questions I planned the next time around with Tess, but what do I say next time we'd pair it up? Easy. Try asking her what she's passionate about. Like, her hobbies? Yeah, that kind of thing. It's foolproof. Everyone cares about something. Right, even if it's an Italian villa. Sure enough, your next rotation brings you back inside and around to Tess. We meet again. I have a question for you this time. What do you like to do for fun? Do drums or short clip nails on the table, thinking. I've been boxing off and on for the last couple years. I haven't had much time lately, but I'd like to pick it back up again. And then there's my serial killing. Right, that's a given. Okay, my turn. How have your other dates been going? Horribly. She says it casually. Maybe a little too casually, but that could be just wishful thinking. She's looking at you for an answer as your stomach does this nervous flip. They've been less fun than talking to you. She carefully, neutral expression melts into a smile that's half surprised, half smug. It's a good look on her. Oh yeah, mine went about the same way. She taps a fist against the table. 2 short knocks. I think I need a break from the dating carousel. Want to come get some air with me? Air? Me? I mean, yeah, right behind you. You follow her out of the cafe's front door. Cool breeze rolls down the street as Tess stretches her arms over her head. That's more like it. It's getting pretty cramped in there. Yeah. Plus, it's always weird being at the cafe at night, like being 16 and breaking into your high school after hours. Which I'm guessing you did. For a good cause. I was doing an art installation in protest of the dress code. Very principled of you. Is she flirting? Are we flirting? Or is she just easy to talk to? Was cool, though. Even if it was kind of impossible to summarize your life in 5 minutes without feeling like a job interview. Yeah, I think I'm tapping out for the night. Tess is quiet for a second. In the corner of your eye, you see that she's biting her lip. Clearly deep in thought. Would you want to go someplace quieter and decompress? I know a cute bar just down the street. Cheap, but passable drinks. Your heart leaps at the invitation. Even if it's just a friend date, not a date, it's still a chance to get to know her better. Go to the bar. Then come on, it's this way. A few blocks north of the Bean and Tea, Tess leads you into a country-themed bar, given the crowd is almost exclusively women of various ages wearing flannel. It's a lesbian country-themed bar. How did I not know this place was here? And more importantly, does her bringing me here make this a date, or she just like the vibes? For better or worse, neither Dex nor any of your friends can telepathically reply to these burning questions. But Tess gestures for you to follow her further inside, where you see a mechanical bull and a girl falling off of it. Welcome to my favorite dive bar, or should I say, yeehaw! When the two of you reach the bar, Tess slaps her palm over the menu on the counter. Honest question, and you can say no. How would you feel about me ordering you a drink? Your heart stutters a little. Do you want to? All the other times we've seen each other, you've been making me drinks. I want to see if I can guess what you'd like. Okay, I'm game. Grinning, Tess waves the bartender over. An old-fashioned for me, and a Cosmo for her, please. Never had one, but I don't know. The bartender nods as you turn to Tess and raise an eyebrow. A Cosmo. You're gonna have to explain that one. Easy. She holds up a hand, ticking off each point on her fingers as she goes. They're sweet, flavorful, better known as fun. And last but not least, they've got way more depth than some people give them credit for. Oh, okay, alright. The bartender slides both of your drinks across the counter. Cosmopolitan, take a sip. So, how'd I do? Yes. Figuring it's her, I'm gonna go with favorite. She winks, which only does more criminal things to your heart rate. I'm a mind reader. But the wink does, plus the drink, makes you feel bold enough to match her grin with your own. Prove it. What am I thinking about right now? Whether I'm going to make you get on the mechanical bull or not. Okay, that was definitely up there. You're both quiet for a minute as you take sips of your drinks and soak in the atmosphere. If only speed dating had been a little bit more of this. The vibes were definitely more inconsistent. But not all bad. She flashes you a grin, and you feel your cheeks warm. No, not at all. It's a level with me. What were you looking for in a date, ultimately? Wow, going right for the big questions. You don't have to answer, but seeing as we both just put up with the dating roulette, can you blame me for being curious? You can't, but you also can't help wondering what she's looking for, and whether your answer is remotely in the same ballpark as hers. You take another sip of the Cosmo to fortify yourself as you choose your words. I want someone... I'm gonna take a drink for this one as well. It's been a long day. I want someone who sees all of me, but also talk to... But don't we want all of this shit? Who sees all of me? Good, bad, messy. I'm over-modulating myself to match whoever I'm dating, you know? Yeah, cheers to that. As she lifts her old-fashioned in toast, you realize with a sudden dizzying clarity that you've never felt the need to hide yourself around her. And at the end of the day, I want something serious this time around. Or at least something that sticks, you know? Dash tucks some of her hair behind her ear, suddenly glancing down at her drink. Yeah, I really hope you find it. Me too. The way she just said that. Your pulse thuds, and it takes effort to clear your throat and reply out loud. What about you? What are you looking for in a date? She sighs, leaning against the bar. The same boat as you, I think. My relationships have been... They've had this pattern, I guess you would call it, for a while now. People see how I look, vibe I give off, and they assume certain things about me. You know, that I have my act together, that I'm tough, I guess. No BS, no drama. And when things even get a little bumpy, they bail because bumpy wasn't what they signed up for. So when you said you're looking for something that sticks, yeah, I'm right with you. There's a furrow between her brows, and she like she's concentrating on remaining unemotional. You work up your guts to ask more, but before you can, she downs the rest of her drink and wipes her mouth before tossing you a smile. There's an ancient proverb, and this is one of the really important ones. The only acceptable course of action after talking about your exes is to get forcibly thrown from a metal kettle. Can we fact check that? Nope, no doubting the ancient wisdom. But if it'll make you feel better, I'll go first. Okay, cowgirl, let's see what you got. Her answer to that is more literal than you were expecting, because she shrugs off her leather jacket, slings it over the stool. For the first time, you get a full view of the tattoos coiling down her left arm as she grins at you. Hey, they're pretty. Lines this way. You follow her to a short line for the mechanical bull, and in a few moments, it's her turn to mount it. Giddy up. She swings one leg over the saddle, the bull begins to buck, and unsurprisingly, she's amazing at this. She rides a motorcycle, for Jesus' sake. The motorcycle skills translate, and you can't help noticing the way her thighs squeeze the seat. God, how'd she make this look hot? I'm not even gonna reply, no. Eventually, she tumbles off them onto the padded mat surrounding the bull, but even that is somehow graceful. Please tell me you've done this before. You hold out a hand to help her up. She takes it, her warm palm pressing against yours as she gets to her feet. Once or twice. And that's an all-time record. Anyone want to beat it? She does. Tash lifts her hand into the air on your behalf, winking, which leaves you incapable of saying no. Yep, me, I can totally beat that. You mount the bull, and soon enough it starts to jerk wildly. Whoa there, Bronco. I will fly off, hang on, fall over, hang on. Your teeth are rattling, but you manage to keep hold of the handle on the saddle for what feels like an eternity until... Would you believe that? It's an even newer record. Round of applause to the power couple. The bull gradually slows its movements, and Tess walks over to you, offering a hand to help you off. You take it, hoping your palm isn't sweaty. Damn, Van Gogh. You're full of surprises. You aren't jealous that I beat your record? Oh, I'm definitely gonna need a rematch sometime, but I'm still impressed. Once you have 2 feet on the ground, Tess loosens her grip on your hand, but she doesn't let go entirely. Your heartbeat thrums in your ears as you look at her, her face awash in the warm light of the bar. You squeeze Tess's hand gently before slowly dropping it, until your fingers are just brushing. She sucks in a sharp breath, and when you meet her gaze, her eyes are wide. Hey, thanks for coming with me. This has been a lot of fun. Bulls and drama dumping included. Ditto. Thanks for letting me tag along. Did you want to do another round? Of the bull, you or the drinks? What? Don't look at me like that. You're tempted, but your mind wanders back to the cafe. You're no math expert, but you can still tell that the ticket prices, head count from tonight, isn't anywhere near 50 grand. To be honest, I think I'm done with crowds for the night. I might just need to go home and curl up under a weighted blanket for a bit. You okay? She takes a step closer to you, tilting her head to one side. You've seemed a little distracted tonight, and I know... Crap, she can tell. She can totally tell I have a crush on her that's the size of a planet. Well, I heard your friend Blue talking to one of their dates. He said that the cafe needs money in, quote, an apocalyptic kind of way. Relief washes over you like a tidal wave. I swear, Blue has never kept a secret in her life, including their own. But it's true. That's why we organized this whole event tonight. Our landlord raised the rent, Max can't pay, and we're trying to fundraise before the cafe has to close for good, apocalyptically. Speed dating got a solid turnout, but these ticket sales alone won't be anywhere close to enough, so I'm worried. We all are. God, I'm sorry. I can't imagine that place closing. The neighborhood would be so much emptier without it. Yeah. And so would I. All my friends are there. I know a job can be a job, but this one has meant everything to me. There's still some time. Yeah, I was just talking about a coffee class. Blue's trying to get us all in Family Feud for some reason. But honestly, I'm not sure it'll be enough. And I can't tell my friends that, because then they'll start thinking it too. Then you can keep telling me, preferably while we work on the next fundraiser together. She gives you the confident, slightly crooked smile, and it is the sweetest thing you've ever seen. But you aren't even an employee. You don't have to... No, let me stop you right there. The place matters to you, right? Yeah, more than almost anything. Okay, so I want to. I frantically weigh how to respond to that thank you. Feels way too small. And do you want to come by tomorrow night, or morning? We're working on our next game plan. I'll be there first thing, Van Gogh. Promise. Alright, so without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot. Alright, so let me just say the following. There's also the Join in Thanks feature. So, let me go ahead and say the first thing that comes to mind about this episode that I made a note of. Dress codes for, anything. Can I just say something? Right, and I'm just looking at this from my perspective, right? Well, I don't want to say every place, but dress codes have been along for a long time, right? Women used to have to wear pantsuits or skirts, and guys used to have to wear suits, and then there was also, if you worked at a place, you had to keep your shirt tucked versus letting it hang out, and you had to look respectable and all this other stuff, right? There's nothing wrong with a dress code. Yeah, some things need to be a little bit laxed, and those things have happened over time, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, I don't think you understand how some people want to dress, okay? Like, people I've known, like, I never call them friends, but people I've known, like, wanted to wear, like, those tight, like, for women, right? Those leggings, right? And just let the whole world see everything, and then they wanted to wear, like, shirts that, wouldn't cover their stomach and all this other shit. We have to look at those employees and go, no, I'm sorry, but you have to wear actual clothes, okay? This isn't like you working out at the gym, or, you have to at least, because your business is supposed to at least be somewhat respectable, right? There's a time for personalized clothing and what you're going to wear, and there's a time for when you're, at a business, right? And you have to separate when you're at home or the gym or business. That's just how it works. Even McDonald's has a dress code, okay? Let's put it that way. All right? It's a way of keeping, people who don't know how to dress for shit, and at least teaching them something that, their parents probably didn't teach them, and life didn't teach them, and their schools certainly as shit didn't teach them. Okay? You have to at least dress a certain way. So the fact that, this chapter made it feel like, oh no, I'm being disenfranchised because I'm a certain way, is so disingenuous as a person who literally and figuratively, I know people who are all walks of life, and they've never had to complain about a dress code, okay? Because most of those people are people who respect themselves, and let alone know that, hey, if I go to a place of employment, I have to at least dress like a halfway decent human being. Again, I cannot wear tight as hell leggings and wear like a tube top or like a tank top or some BS at a job which doesn't cover, things. okay? And especially as a woman, there's people who want to wear, like, for instance, what Tess was wearing during her date, right? Like, there's people who want to wear that at a job. I'm sorry, you can't. So this chapter irritated me with that. It really did irritate me with that. So aside from that, no, I'm not even kidding. So in school, right? So getting back to speed reading, in school, I wasn't actually allowed to read in class. I'm not even kidding. Because me and this one other girl, she was a speed reader too, and we got along. Her name was Renee. And literally we could open a book and we sit there and it's just and literally, like, for me, I would start getting tongue-tied, and you notice when I'm reading some of the shit, I actually do get a little tongue-tied, or I jump a word, or whatnot, and I'm jumping around. Yeah, no, I can sit here, and you can give me a ginormous book, the biggest book you can think of, and I could probably read it in one sitting, okay? It kind of, like, maxes out my brain, and I'm like, ugh, afterwards, but yeah, and then I can also recall everything that I read. So it's cool. I have that ability, but at the same time, it's really annoying. And like some of my friends have tested me on it, right? And they'll ask me questions like days or weeks later, and I'll pop out an answer, and they're like, "Holy shit, you do have that," And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's annoying." And I try and not remember such. We'll go with asinine things, really. Kind of like this chapter. I'm gonna try and erase this from my memory because I don't want things. Listen, there's a lot to sort through in my mind. So aside from that, also today has been a super exhausting day. I've had some more bad news given to me today. So, yeah, no, I know there was one other thing I wanted to talk about in this chapter, but aside from that, I don't know. I just, as a person who live my own life and whatnot, and then also have other people, I don't see as many issues, nor do they, as this chapter itself portrayed. Let's put it that way, right? Also the moon sign, and your star sign, and all that shit, I'm calling it that. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that stuff. Like, I don't understand. Maybe if I understood it, maybe I'd care. Probably not, because it seems insignificant to me, right? I am the type of person, in case you guys didn't know, and you're actually still here, I'm the type of person who I do not care about your pronouns. I mean, does that sound vain of me or what? I don't care. I care about your name. I care about you as a person. I do not give a flying F what literally and figuratively you identify as or anything else like that. Because to me, it doesn't matter. It just like what I identify as, right? Most of you probably don't know. So my point is, I'm not going to tell you because it doesn't affect you. Just like what you are doesn't affect me. Like, am I agreed with in the comments by that? Like, let me know. But for me, if your name is Charles, hey Charles, how are you? And that is it. Right? Like, if I wanted to maybe date you, then yes, I would get to know you more, and who, what, when, where, and why, or maybe you were like a best friend or something. And even then, some of the questions are still going to be like bare minimum, because I don't want it. I feel like I'm invading your privacy, right? And everyone wants to put everything on blast anymore, and put everything out there, and then there's nothing left, and then half the crap you put out there, it's like, now people can use against you or try and hurt you or whatnot. No, I'm not for that. So, like, I'm a person that, here's my name, and, it's nice to meet you. That's it. Like, and again, I don't know. Again, I feel like this book is just, it's irritating. I'd rather be off reading Romance Club. I'm going to be honest with you. Just things like this, I don't know. They try and make issues where there aren't issues, and then, everybody's like, oh, this is an issue because they believe choices half the time, and it's like, not really, no. Like, I could give you some issues if you'd like, but anyway. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed some of my jokes and whatnot. Otherwise, I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.